Hello everyone, this is your host, your friend, your boy, Jet Black, the one and only, here with another exciting video. In this video I'm going to be playing some AI Dungeon 2. I hope you guys are excited. So this video is going to be a little bit different from my other AI Dungeon 2 videos, and I think you're going to know why very soon. So without further ado, let me jump right into the prompt. You wake up in a forest clearing. You have a bump on your head. The last thing you remember is someone throwing a clipboard at you. You don't remember who you are, your name, or how you got here. You look around and find the clipboard that was thrown at you. You can tell that it is the one that was thrown at you because there's a little bit of blood on it. The title of the document on the clipboard is Hero's Journey Checklist. The document has the 17 stages of the hero's journey listed and described on it. The call of adventure, the refusal of the call, supernatural aid, the crossing of the first threshold, belly of the whale, the road of trials, the meeting with the goddess, woman as the temptress, atonement with the father/abyss, apotheosis, the ultimate boon, refusal of the return, the magic flight, the rescue from without, the crossing of the return threshold, master of two worlds, and freedom to live. You take a moment to quickly read over the document. You say, I guess I don't have anything better to do? You pause for a moment and look around the empty forest clearing. You shrug your shoulders and say, I guess I'll follow the checklist and become a hero or something. Then the AI said, Soon you spot a figure in the distance walking towards you. The figure wears a long trench coat, has slick back blonde hair, and is carrying a Tommy gun. So, in case you guys haven't figured it out already, what I'm going to be doing in this adventure is I'm going to purposely try to go over all 17 stages of the hero's journey. The hero's journey is essentially like a breakdown of really every great story and all the steps that every great story goes through. So I'm going to be trying to tell a complete story, playing as a protagonist who's intentionally trying to do each part of the hero's journey story. And to help, I have this Wikipedia page open to the hero's journey in another tab. So if at any point I run into a step of the hero's journey where I'm not sure what to do, I'll just refer to the Wikipedia page. And essentially, the document on the clipboard is supposed to be the equivalent, like to me being able to check the Wikipedia page. So yeah, let's hit it up. So I'm going to think to myself, this blonde man might be the person who is going to give me the call to adventure. You approach the blonde man and ask him, do you have an adventure for me? This guy walking up to me in the forest feels like he's almost like on cue, like he's meant to be the person to give me the adventure. The man stops walking, turns towards you, looks you up and down, laughs to himself, turns back around, and continues walking. That was weird, you think to yourself. Oh, okay. I guess he isn't. So I'm gonna shrug, and then I'm going to call out to the blonde man. Do you know where the nearest village is? The blonde man stops, turns around, and blasts you in the face with his Tommy gun. You fall backwards, sit on the ground, and hold your face in pain. Yell, ow, really loudly, and start crying. The blonde man laughs even harder than before. You were surprised that you didn't immediately die from being shot in the face with a Tommy gun. Let's see. You decide that the man in the trench coat likely isn't someone who you want to associate with. Yeah, I guess I should have known that he was a bad guy, but I was hoping that he'd be the person who would give me my call to adventure. The blonde man stops laughing and says, "Well, looks like a dum-dum to me. I'll take that clipboard now." You hand the checklist over to him. He nods his head in thanks and walks away. Hell no. I'm not gonna let him take the clipboard. Game trying to make me give up the clipboard? Hmm. I'm going to say to the blonde man, I'm not going to give you my clipboard. Please leave me alone. I thought you could have been a friend, but I don't think you are. That's weirdly phrased. I don't know why I'm saying it like that. I'm not going to give you my clipboard. Please leave me alone. And I don't really need to say anything more than that. Why does he want the clipboard? I'm actually somewhat perplexed that he would even ask for that. It's literally the only thing I have. The blonde man sighs, rolls his eyes, walks up to you, and shoots you in the foot. To your surprise, you feel no pain at all. The man says, "That was just a warning shot, kid." Um, hmm. You think that you might be bulletproof. You aren't sure why or how, but it seems like bullets don't affect you. I'm going to ask the blonde man, why do you want my clipboard? The man looks down and says, "I don't really want your clipboard. I just don't like the idea of some stupid kid walking around with a clipboard." The blonde man looks up and fixes his glare on you. He says, you interrupt the blonde man and say, "I'm going to leave now. Don't follow me. I am taking my clipboard with me." Excuse me. The blonde man puts his Tommy gun away, looks down, and starts shaking his head. He says, "Hey, kid, you don't get it. You're in a whole mess of trouble. I'm the only one who can help." Okay. I'm going to say to the blonde man, the only way you can help me is if you can either give me an adventure or find me someone who can. Yeah, because I still haven't even done like the first step yet of like the hero's journey. I gotta like have someone offer me an adventure that I then must refuse. The blonde man laughs, does a little dance, and says, "I can definitely give you an adventure. Let me see that clipboard." The man walks up to you, snatches the clipboard from your hand, and looks at the paper attached to it. What? Wait a second. I'm going to attempt to take back the clipboard and say, "Don't snatch things from people." That's very rude. Yeah, like there's no reason for you to do that. The blonde man doesn't even blink when he sees you try to take back your clipboard. He simply pushes you in the chest and knocks you on your butt. I'm being nice by letting you live, the man says as he looks over your paper. Okay. I'm going to attempt to snatch away the blonde man's Tommy gun. Yeah, this dude is taking like literally the only thing that I have. The blonde man turns around quickly, points his Tommy gun at you, and fires. Before you can even put your hands up, the bullet hits your chest and you fall backwards. You quickly close your eyes and die on the ground. Why do bullets kill me now? He shot me in the face earlier, and it hurt me, but I didn't like die. Then he shot me in the foot. I didn't feel anything. Now he shoots me in the chest and I die? Well, that was for bust. Okay. Let me get rid of the line where I die. I can't go through the hero's journey if I die at the like start. Let's see. I'm going to say to the blonde man, you already shot me in the face and in the foot. Do you really think a shot to the chest is going to do anything? The blonde man shrugs, looks in the air as if he's thinking really hard about something, and then pulls the trigger one more time. Goodness. As you fall backwards, you hear him say, maybe I'll miss, maybe I won't. Okay. I'm still falling backwards, I just realized. Like, I haven't, like, hit the ground yet. Okay, I'm going to attempt, to catch myself and stand up straight. Yeah, I'm kind of getting tired of this blonde dude. He, like, exists solely to just stop me from really doing anything. As you try to steady yourself, you hear the strange man say, you know what your problem is, kid? You think you're a hero from one of those lame movie shows. I've met plenty of other kids like you. You're nothing special. Okay, so the dude's just kind of like being a jerk. I'm going to say, what makes you special? Is it the fact that you bully kids with a Tommy gun? Well, the blonde man pushes you backwards with his gun barrel and then looks up to the sky and starts laughing. He says, there's nothing I like more than a kid who speaks his mind. Too bad you won't have a mind left to speak with after my boss gets done with you. Okay, I'm going to attempt to knock out the blonde man with a headbutt. Yeah, you shouldn't have gotten like super close to me. The blonde man sees your head coming towards his face, but he doesn't move. You hit him right in the forehead as hard as you can, and he still doesn't move. The force of the blow knocks you backwards, and you fall on the ground. Goodness. You say, you're tougher than you look. You attempt to stand up and brush yourself off. You politely ask the man if you can have your clipboard back. The blonde man snorts. Nice try, kid. You are never getting your clipboard back. But now that you've tried to defend yourself, I think it's time we ended this little game. Okay, really? Really? I just get the clipboard bully? So he did well with the headbutt. I'm going to attempt to kick the blonde man in the groin as hard as I can. I can't say groin. I'm going to attempt to kick the blonde man in the balls as hard as I can. Excuse me. Somehow that's better. You're trying to kick the blonde man, but he's faster than you and he sidesteps your foot. My turn, the blonde man says as he grabs your leg and flips you onto your back. He then hits you in the chest with his fist. Goodness, he's just way better than me. I like just started the game and this nigga's like level 50. I don't even know how long I've been playing for. It's been 16 minutes. I haven't done step 1. I haven't done a single step of the journey. Fuck. Okay. What to do. You say to the man, wait, what if you kept the clipboard, but you gave me the document that is on the clipboard? I care more about the document than I do about the clipboard itself. The blonde man grins from ear to ear and then shouts in an overly dramatic tone. Why can't you just be happy with the bloodshed? That's all you think about, is it not? Killing and violence? You are very confused by this man. You say to the man, I think you're projecting. I think all you care about is killing and violence. I'm just trying to finish this checklist and become a hero. If you think you're so tough, then you should give me that clipboard. Once I finish this checklist, I can meet you back here and see how tough you really are. Once I'm a hero. The blonde man raises his fist to punch you, but stops right before he makes contact. He laughs and says, You think you can really beat me without using any weapons? You're either more stupid than you look, or more brave. I'm not sure which. You motion for the blonde man to hand you back your clipboard. The walks backwards towards his car, shaking his head the entire time. He tosses your clipboard into the passenger seat and then motions for you to come get it. What the fuck? This seems bad. Okay. You go to the blonde man's car and attempt to grab the clipboard from the passenger seat. You aren't going to get in the car. You are just going to reach into the car and pull the clipboard out of the car. You reach for the door handle, but as soon as you touch it, the door swings open and hits you in the chest. You're surprised by this. You are so surprised by this that you fall backwards onto the ground. That's another good one, kid. What? Okay, so the door's beating me up now? Okay, I'm going to reach into the open car and attempt to quickly grab the clipboard and run away. I can't believe that he has like a car here now. I mean, running, through a forest, I might actually be able to get away from the car. You decide to try the same thing again, so you reach into the car for the clipboard. Once again, as soon as your hand touches the clipboard, the door is pulled away from you and it slams shut. That's not what happened last time. Like, it's not like I'm doing the same exact thing. Retry the thing. Okay. You have the clipboard in your hands, but as soon as you make an attempt to get up off the ground so you can run, how the fuck did it get in my hands? I fell backwards onto the ground. I guess I never got up, so I got knocked to the ground, and I guess I just on the ground reached in the car and got the clipboard. Sure. You have the clipboard in your hands, but as soon as you make an attempt to get up off the ground so you can run, suddenly the blonde man grabs your legs. He pulls them away from you and then brings you down to the ground. Okay. Cool. So the blonde man is still just fucking with me. I'm going to attempt I don't want to harm the clipboard, to be honest. I'm going to call out for help. That's honestly what I should have done before. This blonde man's really annoying. Nobody comes to your rescue. Oh gosh. The blonde man pulls you all the way towards him and then punches you in the face. He then grabs the top half of your body and repeatedly slams you into the ground. Oh my gosh. This sucks. Okay. Like, it's just me getting, like, beaten. I'm gonna ask the blonde man. Why? Why are you bullying me? Like, I just don't understand. He doesn't answer. He just continues to beat you up. You're crying and screaming for help at this point, but it's no use. Your body starts to go numb, which you assume means you might be dying. Oh, come on. This is really how it ends? I didn't do a single item on the list. Not a single one. You call out. This time, you aren't calling for help. You are calling out for an adventure. You are determined to complete the checklist, and you refuse to let the blonde man stop you. Okay, so let's see how this goes. As you are laying on the ground, face down, defeated and broken, the blonde man takes your clipboard and throws it into the air as hard as he can. A gust of wind comes and blows the clipboard upwards. You ask the wind to whisk you away. So that you can retrieve your clipboard and escape the blonde man. Yeah, I need to get out of here. You're whisked away to a place you've never seen before. Wow, that worked. That worked. The game could have very easily just been like, and the wind doesn't do anything because you're just normal. But okay. You're whisked away to a place you've never seen before. As your feet touch onto the ground, you feel the sand beneath your toes for the first time. The air around you is very humid, and there are palm trees in every direction as far as the eye can see. Wow. Okay. You think that you might have been whisked away to a beach. You are surprised that the wind answered your call. You thank the wind and ask it if it has an adventure for you. Excuse me. The wind gently picks up a seashell that is sitting on the ground and throws it into the air in front of you. Okay. I'm going to ask the wind if it wants me to listen to the seashell, or I guess listen to the sounds of the seashell. You know how you can take like a seashell and hold it up to your ear, and they say that you can like hear the ocean or whatever? I wonder if I'm gonna like listen to the seashell and hear like the call to adventure. You put the seashell up to your ear, and you hear the faint sound of a woman laughing. A cold chill goes up your spine. The laughter sounds familiar. You can't quite put your finger on it. You say to the shell, "Hello? Do you have an adventure for me?" Do 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 do. The laughter stops, and a deep male voice whispers, "You are a brave one, a brave little one." A black cloud appears out of nowhere and starts to pour rain. You look up and you realize there are no clouds in the sky. What? Her reality's like tripping balls, dude. Everything's so weird. You feel a little disoriented. The world is so odd. You don't entirely understand what's going on. First, you wake up with no memory. Then, you get attacked by a crazy blonde man who was likely a member of the mafia. Then, you're rescued by the wind. And now, you're talking to a seashell while the weather changes in an instant. Yeah, it seems like there's a lot going on right now. The wind starts to blow really hard, and the rain stings your face. You're starting to get scared. You don't want to be out in the middle of nature anymore. You try to run, but you're being pushed back by the wind. You ask the seashell, what adventure do you want me to go on? Yeah, like, just give me the call. I need the call to adventure. Hit me up. The seashell says, you must bring me the... Well, I guess it's a deep male voice. You must bring me the stone of Volgar. Your mouth hangs open, and your eyes get wide with shock. Oh my god, this is it! This is an adventure call! Okay, cool. You check off call to adventure on your checklist. You then say to the seashell, the second step of the hero's journey is to refuse the call to adventure. I decline your request, and I refuse to bring you the stone of Volgar. The seashell begins to laugh, and then it stops as quickly as it started. The wind starts to die down, and the rain stops falling. The cloud disappears, and the sun comes out again. Excuse me. You check off Refusal of the Call on your checklist. Let's see. Let's look at Wikipedia. Supernatural aid, what does that mean? Once the hero has committed to the quest, consciously or unconsciously, his guide and magical helper appears or becomes known. Okay. So, you look at the next step of your checklist. The next step requires that you accept the call to adventure and meet your magical guide. You say to the seashell, I accept your quest, and I will bring you the stone of Volgar. I just need to find a supernatural helper to assist me on my quest. The seashell goes quiet for a moment, and then you hear a loud rumble in the distance. You look up, and you see a swirling cloud of dust getting closer and closer to you. A lightning bolt strikes out of the cloud and hits the sand right between your feet. I'm going to ask the dust cloud, are you my supernatural helper? As the cloud settles, you see a creature standing in front of you. The creature is about 4 feet tall. He has a large purple tail. Is this a mermaid? You've read about them, but you've never seen one in real life before. Let's see. You think to yourself, nah, it probably isn't a mermaid. Mermaids don't have legs and feet. If the creature was a mermaid, his entire lower body would be a tail. You ask the creature, are you here to help me on my quest? do 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 do. The mermaid is staring at you, but he's not speaking. He makes no noise, and he just stares at you with his large purple eyes. In fact, now that you look more closely, his eyes aren't purple at all. They're blue. Retry? That's so weird. So, stop trying to push that he's a mermaid. He's just not a mermaid. By definition, he's not a mermaid. Okay. The creature jumps up and down and lets out a squeaky, yes! He hops from foot to foot, and then he points at his tail and says, you see this? This is not just a tail. This is my foot. My name is Quetzali. Okay. He hops from foot to foot and then points at his tail and says, this is not my tail. This is my foot. The fuck is wrong with you? I'm going to say, it is nice to meet you, Quetzali. I notice that you have 2 feet already. If your tail is also a foot, then does that mean that you have 3 feet? Yeah, they're trying to push the mermaid thing. Quetzali's not a mermaid. That's just not how mermaids work. Quetzali sits down on the sand and crosses his legs. He folds his arms and pouts his lips. You're silly, he says in a disapproving tone. Let me show you, he continues. Okay, I'm going to check off, I'm going to check off supernatural aid. Actually, did I fulfill everything from supernatural aid? I get a magical helper. Mentor will present the hero with 1 or more talismans or artifacts that'll aid him later in the quest. Oh, wait, hold up. Before I check off supernatural aid, I'm going to ask Quetzali, are you going to show me a supernatural artifact? The checklist says that my supernatural helper normally, I guess that a hero's supernatural helper normally is given some kind of magic artifact or talisman to use on their adventure. Quetzali reaches into his hair and pulls out a seashell. He holds it close to his ear and listens to it for a moment. Yes, this will do nicely, he says, and he hands the seashell over to you. Okay. I'm going to ask Quetzali, what magical powers does this seashell have? Quetzali sits cross-legged on the ground, and he leans his head to one side. He puts his hands behind his head and smiles. He says, this shell will allow you to listen to all the whispers in the ocean. Okay. I'm going to thank Quetzali for the seashell. I then am going to check off supernatural aid from the checklist. Okay, what's the next part of the checklist? Crossing the first threshold. This is the point where the hero actually crosses into the field of adventure, leaving the known limits of his world and venturing into an unknown and dangerous realm where the rules and limits are unknown. Okay, cool. You look at the next item on your checklist and read it over. Your next step is to cross over into an unknown world. You ask Quetzali where the threshold is that leads to the unknown world. Wow, what a name. The Threshold Guardian's name is Kukukwaps. What is his name? Kukukwaps. Okay, I actually vibe with that name a little bit more. Quetzali says as he points towards the sun. Quetzali stands up and he points to a spot on the horizon. Okay, cool. I'm going to thank Quetzali once again for his help and start walking towards the point on the horizon where Quetzali was pointing. Well, I guess where Quetzali is pointing. After walking for a few hours, the sun is high in the sky. You're starting to get really thirsty and a little bit hungry. Quetzali sits under a palm tree and watches you as you walk. Okay, let's see. You check to see. Oh, hold up. I'll take a break. Excuse me. And try to find some fish or some fruit. Yeah, I might be able to, like, eat fish from, like, the ocean or, like, eat fruit from, like, a palm tree. You spot a small stream and then you run towards it. The water is cool and refreshing as you lap it up with your tongue. You spot some berries on a nearby bush and you gobble those down as well. Okay, cool. I'm going to continue on my journey towards the threshold to the world of the unknown. You start to feel a little sleepy as you walk. The sand is soft and the breeze feels nice. Quetzali waves at you from the shade of his palm tree. Why don't you take a little nap? He asks as you walk by. Okay. You say, you're right, Quetzali. I will take a little nap. You ask Quetzali, so, why have you decided to help me on my quest to get the Stone of Volcar? Yeah, because I still don't really know what the Stone of Volcar does. I kind of accepted the call because that's what I'm supposed to do. I wasn't really given a reason. The people from the village are always messing with my grove, he complains as he plops down in the sand and rests his head on his hands. I want them to stop doing that, he says as he curls up into a ball and goes to sleep. You aren't sure exactly how Quetzali's desires connect to the stone of Volcar. You honestly don't know what the stone of Volcar is, or why a seashell you found wants you to go get it. All you know is that you need to find it in order to become a hero. You lie down in the sand and rest. When you wake up, the sun is setting. A gentle breeze blows over your skin, and the orange sky warms your heart. You spot Quetzali sitting under his palm tree, watching you. I knew you'd wake up. I'm going to say, hello, Quetzali. Did you sleep well? Not really, but it was still good to rest, he answers as he stands up and dusts off the seat of his pants. Excuse me. Are you ready to go now? He asks. You check your checklist to make sure you have completed everything on the list. I mean, I definitely haven't completed everything on the list. I'm going to say, yes, I am ready for us to head through the threshold to the world of the unknown. Okay, so let's see how this goes. Great, Quetzali answers. Come, wait, hold up. Who says that? Come, let's climb the tree and take a look at the other side. You climb the palm tree and lean over as far as you can without falling. Whoa. What do I see? What is it that I'm viewing? Am I just leaning on a normal palm tree? Is the top of the palm tree like the entrance to the world of the unknown? Whoa, you say, when you see the other side. It's a long way down. It takes your breath away. Quetzali climbs up beside you and makes a funny face. He points to the top of the mountain on the other side. We keep saying the other side, the other side, the other side. Are we looking at the threshold? I don't even know if I'm looking straight up. I think I'm looking down off the palm tree. I'm so confused, actually. Yeah, I'm going to type that in. You don't entirely understand what you're looking at. You ask Quetzali. So, why is it that when we climb the palm tree, not the pine tree, that we suddenly could look into the world of the unknown? Was the palm tree the threshold? Quetzalcoatl designed the threshold to look like a mountain in the hopes that no one would ever try to cross it. Quetzali explains. Oh, so the mountain is the threshold? So we climbed the tree to take a look at the quote-unquote other side. We then looked and saw that it's a long way down from the top of the... Oh, he just means it's a long way down from the top of the palm tree to the ground. Okay? And he points to the top of the mountain. And it says on the other side, which is really weird. It also says, woe you say when you see the other side. Why is it called the other side? Is that like what the world of the unknown is? Why isn't it like capitalized or whatever? So weird. So I'm going to ask Quetzali. I know this is probably going to be redundant. So the world of the unknown is called the other side, and it is just on the other side of that mountain over there. Yes, he answers as he starts to climb down. Everyone calls this mountain El Diablo because of how hard it is to climb. Many people have tried, and many people have failed. Do you know the way? I have an idea of the way. Okay, cool. I'm going to climb down the palm tree and follow Quetzali. You and Quetzali begin the long journey to the other side. You walk for hours without stopping. You feel like you've been walking forever. The terrain is difficult, and you could not be more lost. How much further? You ask. We're almost there, Quetzali answers. It gets dark. You can't see anything. We need to sleep. We don't know where we are, you answer. I'm gonna shrug my shoulders and say, if you think we should sleep, then I guess we'll go to sleep. And then I'll say, I'll see you when I wake up. Good night. So far, this adventure is really weird. You and Quetzali set up camp for the night. You lie down on some soft grass and use your bag as a pillow. You awake to someone poking you in the side. Hurry up, sleepyhead. Let's get going. Okay. I'm going to get up and continue my adventure with Quetzali. You ask Quetzali, why do the villagers mess with your grove? And how will the stone of Volcar help you stop the villagers from messing with your grove? The villagers use the magical blue fruit for their potions. If we find the Stone of Volcar, we can use his power to stop them from taking any more fruit. Okay. I mean, sure, I guess. What does the stone do, and what does the fruit do? Yeah, like I just have more questions. So what does the Stone of Volcar actually do? Do 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 do. I don't know, he answers. No one knows, except for Lady of the Moon and Lord of the Sun, the only two who have ever seen it. They say this stone, holds tremendous power. Fascinating. I don't know why it likes to break up what the AI says into like multiple parts. It's really odd. He continues. There we go. So the Stone of Volcar just sounds like a MacGuffin. And while he doesn't know what the stone does, he does seem to know that it's like powerful. So he's like, it'll help me stop them somehow. So I'm going to ask Quetzali. So why do you want to stop the villagers from taking the magical blue fruit from your grove? Why not share your fruit with the villagers? You do not understand. Those villagers are not my friends, he says angrily. They have no respect for the magic of the world. They want to use it for their own gain. Okay. Fair enough. Ooh. I can understand why you might not want people abusing your magical fruit. And then I'm going to continue walking with Quetzali. Yeah, I guess to the other side is what we're calling it. Soon, you and Quetzali arrive at the base of the mountain. It's much bigger than you thought it would be. After studying it for a few minutes, you spot a pass that will lead you to the other side. Ooh. Did you see that pass? Let's see. You asked Quetzali? I mean, I don't know why I would ask that. I'm going to motion for Quetzali to follow you up the pass to the other side. You ask Quetzali if the Threshold Guardian is going to try and stop you from getting to the other side or not. I don't think so, he answers. I think the Guardian knows when someone is worthy to pass and when they aren't. But how will we know if we're worthy or not, you ask? That's a stupid question. If he lets us pass, we're worthy. If he doesn't let us pass, then apparently we're not worthy. We'll find out. Okay. So I'm going to continue down the pass to the other side. You're excited to see the other side. You've never been to a world of the unknown before. At least, not that you can remember. The world you were in before already seemed rather strange. You can't even imagine how weird the other side must be. When you reach the top of the pass, the vegetation is very different. The animals make noises you have never heard before, and they look strange too. The sky is different too. It's beautiful, you whisper to yourself. I'm going to check off the checklist. Is it cross the threshold? Yeah. Crossing the first threshold. And then what's the next part after that? Belly of the whale. The belly of the whale represents the final separation from the hero's known world itself. By entering this stage, the person shows a willingness to undergo a metamorphosis. When first entering the stage, the hero may encounter a minor danger or setback. Okay. This popular motive gives emphasis to the lesson that the passage of the threshold is a form of self-annihilation. Instead of passing outward beyond the confines of the visible world, the hero goes inward to be born again. The disappearance corresponds to the passing of a worshipper into the temple, where he is to be quickened by the recollection of who and what he is, namely dust and ashes, unless immortal. The temple interior, the belly of the whale, and the heavenly land beyond, above, and below the confines of the world are one and the same. This is why the approaches of and entrances to the temples are flanked and defended by colossal gargoyles, equivalent to the 2 rows of teeth of the whale. Illustrate the fact that the devotee at the moment of entry into a temple undergoes a metamorphosis. Once inside, he may be said to have died to time and returned to the world womb, the world navel, the earthly paradise. Allegorically, then, the passage into a temple and the hero dive through the jaws of the whale are identical adventures, both denoting in picture language the life-centering and life-renewing act. Okay, so it's me accepting the fact that, like, I'm going to change, kind of thing. Like, I accept the fact that, like, once I enter this world, I'm not going to be the same person I was before. Let's see. The next step is belly of the whale. For this step, you have to accept the fact that by entering the other side, you have accepted that you are going to be changed by this journey. You ask Quetzalcoatl how the other side can change a person. Not many people get this far, he says. Once you leave the village of the woods, you are leaving behind the world you know and stepping into a world without rules, a world without boundaries, a world of magic and wonder. I'm going to say, that sounds pretty cool to me. I'm going to have to accept that even though the world I came from honestly didn't make a lot of sense, that the other side is a world where the concept of sense is completely thrown out of the window. To be honest, I feel like a world without rules likely makes more sense than a world where the rules are broken. I accept that by entering this world, that I will change in some way. I hope that I change into a better hero. Let's see. I'm going to journey deeper. Well, actually, hold on. I'm just going to say that first before I journey deeper. Because the belly of the whale isn't just the acceptance that you're going to change. They say you normally encounter some kind of minor danger after crossing the threshold. Once you reach the bottom of the pass, a huge opening can be seen in the distance. A great wall can be seen surrounding this opening. The villagers from the village of the woods have already begun preparing for the long march to the wall. Let's see. So, that opening in the wall must be what leads to the other side. I'm going to say to Quetzalli, it is said that during this phase of the journey, that it is common for the hero to face some form of minor danger. Should I get some kind of weapon or armor to prepare? I mean, I guess to prepare for traveling into the other side? He smiles at you. No, you should be fine. Just continue to follow the villagers and do as they do. You begin your march to the wall with the villagers. A snake can be seen slithering over a rock. The sky is beginning to turn purple. You ask the snake, are you the minor danger that I must face during this phase of the journey? The snake raises its head. I am the great and powerful Quetzalcoatl, the feathered serpent god of this world. I bestow upon you a blessing for seeking the other side. All that you desire will be granted to you. Oh, okay. You were surprised that the snake actually was a god. Okay, cool. I'm going to bow to the snake and thank it for its help. You ask the snake if it happens to know what the minor danger is that you will face during this phase of the journey. You do your best to imitate Quetzalli's fluid movements when you bow. So you don't just bow, you're like, you gotta like wiggle around. When you reach the top of the Great Wall, you must embrace the danger that lies beyond it. The snake disappears into the soil, and the villagers begin their chants. Okay? I'm going to chant alongside the villagers as you all continue toward the top of the Great Wall to the other side. Excuse me. As As you get closer to the wall, you can make out a structure. The wall surrounding the opening of the Great Hole is made up of a bunch of stacked human skulls and homunculi skulls. You think to yourself, homunculi? Those are like artificial humans created by alchemists. I wonder if the minor danger I will face will be some kind of homunculi guardian or something. You get closer and closer to the wall. You can see there's some kind of lever system that will move a platform, allowing you to descend down the wall. There's a crowd of villagers at the bottom of the wall, eagerly waiting for your group to join them. Okay, cool. That's pretty awesome. So I guess I'm going to continue following the villagers to the platform that you need to use in order to get to the other side. You are vigilant, as you know that at any moment a minor danger could arise. The villagers make their way onto the platform and begin their descent down the wall. You are now face to face with the Great Wall. It is a daunting structure. You do not know what to expect on the other side. Quetzali notices your hesitation. I'm going to say to Quetzali, "No worries, my friend. I accept that I will change on the other side. The only thing that has me feeling uneased is the fact that a minor danger supposedly is going to happen, or I guess going to appear very soon. I just have my guard up, just in case." He smiles at you warmly and lifts his staff above his head. The villagers on the platform all begin to chant in unison. A blue light appears at the tip of Quetzali's staff. "Do not be afraid. We are all here to guide you through this journey." Okay. I'm going to smile and nod. So like everybody, like including like the villagers. If so, that's pretty cool. I'm glad to have so much support. That like blonde guy at the beginning made me not feel particularly good. Excuse me. Wait, what? The villagers all begin jumping up and down on the lever system. The platform begins moving and starts descending down the wall. The air becomes colder as you fall. You can see a faint light at the bottom of the wall. It becomes brighter as you descend downwards. Interesting. It seems like we're entering the other side. Let's just see what that's like. The villagers start singing a celebratory song. Quetzali begins dancing to the rhythm of the drums. You can't help but get caught up in the spirit of celebration, and you begin dancing too. To the other side. Hey, okay. So far, so good. It seems like we're getting like a little bit of an upbeat moment now. which is cool. You close your eyes, and you can feel the platform has reached the bottom of the wall. The villagers all start cheering. You open your eyes, and you see that you're at the bottom of an enormous pit. Oh, wow. I didn't expect that. Okay. So I'm going to say to Quetzali, are we now in the other side? He stops dancing and looks at you with a serious face. Yes and no. We are in a place that is part of the other side. The great hole that leads to the other side is actually a very long tunnel that we have now been dropped into. Okay. You're surprised that there are so many steps to getting to the other side. You have to pass a mountain. Well, I guess you had to pass a mountain, ascend, or I guess descend a great wall. You had to pass a mountain and descend a great wall. And now you have to traverse a long tunnel. You have a feeling that this tunnel will contain a minor danger that you must face. You put up your guard and begin your journey through the tunnel. You look up and can see the villagers climbing a set of stairs that lead out of the pit. There are torches lining the walls of the pit, and they give off a faint light, but it is more than enough for you to be able to see. Okay? I'm going to grab a torch and head into the tunnel. The tunnel is long, and it feels like an eternity traveling down it. Ghazali stops for a moment and takes out a map that he had stashed in his backpack. You look at it, but you can't make heads or tails of what it represents. Okay. You imagine that you likely wouldn't be able to understand a map of the other side. By its very nature, the other side is beyond logic and rules. You believe that a map to the other side likely wouldn't be very accurate unless it were constantly changing. You are startled by a rumble coming from the ground. The tunnel is shaking, and you can hear a roar coming from ahead of you. He quickly folds up the map and puts it back into his pack, and looks at you as if to say, I told you so. I'm going to say, hello? This roar I hear, are you the minor danger that I now must face? Do 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 do. He places his finger over his lips and gestures you to follow him. He walks up ahead a bit, and you follow closely behind. The tunnel leads into a large cavern that is filled with bones. Yeah, you think to yourself, this minor danger doesn't seem very minor. It can roar loud enough to shake this massive tunnel. And it has left behind an impressive collection of bones from past victims. Yeah, seems like we're gonna get our first real, like, monster encounter. You stop walking and look at the bones. They're all of animals. They are bigger than any animal you've seen before. Quetzali whispers into your ear. Ooh, what is he gonna whisper into my ear? Excuse me. These are the remains of a dozen quipas. You look at him with surprise and he responds, I know they look bigger than normal, but I assure you that they are the same size of any other quipa. You're even more surprised than before. You ask Quetzali, what exactly is a quipa? He looks into the air and then begins reciting a poem. I don't know if a quipa is, I only know that it isn't. And if perchance it should prove real, you'll find 'tis an animal of gentle kind. Okay. You think to yourself, that makes as much sense as anything should in a world like this. It sounds like the quipa is nothing to be afraid of. You continue your journey into the cavern. Do 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 do. You look at the ground and notice there is a path leading straight ahead through the bones. There's also a tunnel on the right that is dark. Any decisions you make now will involve some measure of risk. Okay? I'm going to continue along the path that goes straight through the bones. Yeah. If the quipa is gentle, then I doubt that it'll hurt me. If the quipa isn't real, then I doubt that it'll hurt me. You walk along the path and notice that it is soft and springy under your feet. The bones come almost up to your waist, but there is no sign of any major danger. Okay? I'm going to continue to wade through the bones down the path. Okay, I'm not scared of the quipa, as it is either friendly or it doesn't exist. I guess I'm going to ask Quetzali. Are these quipa bones naturally occurring, or did some horrifying beast rip the flesh and meat off of all of these Quipa? He responds, I don't know. I've never had any interest in finding out myself. Some foolish adventurers went down that path many years ago and never returned. You are now ankle deep in the bones. Okay, let's see. You say, it looks like we've almost made it completely through the bones. You look around to see if there are any dangers ahead. If not, then you think you might have finally finished crossing the threshold. Yeah, because the main thing I was waiting for, once we entered the cavern and everything, was for some kind of minor danger. You notice in the dim light of the cavern that there's another tunnel on the left side of the path. The tunnel is filled with a strange green light, and there seems to be a strange noise coming from the inside. Okay? I'm going to listen closely to the noise to try and determine what it is. After a few moments, you recognize the noise as some kind of violent hissing. You don't know what kind of creature would make such a noise, but it doesn't sound very friendly. You decide not to go any further, and turn around to go back the way you came. I'm not bitching out. Minor danger time. I'm going to say to the hissing sound, I am a hero here on a journey. Are you the minor danger that I must face to finish crossing the threshold? There's a moment of silence, and then you hear a bone-chilling laugh coming from inside the tunnel. The laugh is loud and long. You can barely believe that such a high-pitched voice could come from something so large. Okay. Interesting. What is it? What is the creature? Let's see. I'm going to take a look at the laughing creature in the tunnel. You hold your breath and strain your eyes and try to see into the tunnel. Quetzali grabs your shoulder and whispers, whatever you do, don't look at his eyes. Whoa, hold up. You stop yourself and return to the path. You ask Quetzali, is that creature in there a Medusa? Well, I guess the proper name would be a Gorgon. Yeah, that would explain the hissing noise, because Gorgons have snakes for hair. and it would explain why you wouldn't look into the eyes. Let's see. He answers you with a strained voice. No, a griffin would be too kind. That is a harpy. Excuse me. You never heard of such a creature. You ask Quetzali, why shouldn't you look into the eyes of a harpy? He replies, harpies are vicious creatures with sharp talons and even sharper personality. You look into his or her eyes and you'll be frozen in place, helpless against the vicious onslaught that will soon follow. Let's see. You remember the laugh you heard earlier and say, the harpy was probably trying to taunt me so that I would look in the tunnel and be paralyzed. I'm going to cross off my checklist, cross into the threshold. Let's see, and then I'm going to look at the next item on the list. So the next item is the Road of Trials. The Road of Trials is a series of tests that the hero must undergo to begin the transformation. Often the hero fails one or more of the tests, which often occur in threes. Eventually, the hero will overcome these trials and move on to the next step. Okay, cool. Let's see. The next item on your checklist is called the Road of Trials. The checklist says that you'll need to overcome 3 trials to proceed to the next listing. You ask Quetzali, what are the 3 trials that I must pass to it? Yeah, just ask what are the 3 trials that I must pass. I was going to say to claim the Stone of Volcar, but just because I get through the trials, that doesn't mean that I'll necessarily like immediately get the Stone of Volcar or anything like that. He replies, I'm afraid I don't know much about this part, only that you will need to pass 3 challenges to reach the next list item. As you were talking, you realize that it has grown very quiet. The wind has stopped blowing completely. Okay. I'm going to call into the Tunnel of the Harpy and ask, do you know the 3 trials that I must pass? There's no response. You're not even sure that the tunnel is still occupied. Quetzali asks you, should we wait here for a moment, or continue on to the next challenge? I'm going to ask Quetzali, is the harpy one of the challenges? Because I actually have no idea what the 3 challenges are supposed to be. He replies, maybe, but I don't think so. You look up and marvel at the beauty of the millions of bones that make up the cavern roof. You feel complete calmness walk over you. You say, I'm starting to feel a lot better. Suddenly, Normally, a ceiling of bones would be kind of creepy. But here, it is almost kind of serene. Let's see. You ask Quetzali to lead the way to the first challenge. He grabs your hand and walks quickly to the next tunnel on the left. You have a feeling of, great urgency overcome you. The calmness that came over you moments ago is now completely gone. Goodness, what's happening? Quetzali runs, and you struggle to keep up. You don't know if it's your imagination or not, but it seems like the walls are trying to close in on you. Quetzali turns his head around and says, "Is that actually what's happening? Are you about to get, like, trash compacted in this bitch?" Don't slow down. If you stop, you'll be crushed. Oh, great. You feel a great force pushing against your back. This causes you to stumble, and Quetzali uses his free hand to pull you forward. He says, "Come on, you can do it." Okay. So you quickly realize that the first challenge is one of endurance. You attempt to run as fast as you can to outrun the... Are they encroaching walls? Yeah, I guess the encroaching walls. Maybe running as fast as you can isn't a good idea for endurance. I may just need to keep running. You manage to keep up with Quetzali, but only just barely. Suddenly, you feel the ground give way, and you fall into a bottomless pit. You scream as you fall, and your body slams against the walls of the pit. Oh my goodness, a bottomless pit? This is less than good. Okay, what do I need to do? I'm going to, well, actually, you think about calling to the wind for help, but you remember that as soon as you entered the other side, the wind stopped. I'm going to attempt to, let's see, grab the wall of the pit to stop my descent and attempt to climb back out of the pit. Well, I guess to climb out of the pit. So I had to avoid encroaching, crushing walls, and now I have to try and climb out of a bottomless pit. You grab hold of a rock spike that is jutting out of the side of the pit. You're able to slow your descent, but not stop it completely. Soon, you're right back where you started, falling towards the center of the earth at breakneck speed. Okay, cool. So it's like, for a moment, I like held onto the spike, and maybe it broke or something, but now I'm falling again. You remember that Quetzali mentioned that the other side has no rules. You attempt to run up the side of the bottomless pit in order to escape. In the real world, gravity would stop you. see. I probably don't need a comma there. In the real world, gravity would stop you. But here, you aren't sure whether or not gravity is a constant factor. Using all of your remaining strength, you run up the side of the pit. Oh wow, you managed to get to a 45-degree angle before your feet can no longer find purchase against the side of the pit. You fall back to the bottom and hit with a sickening thud. Oh goodness. You think to yourself, for a moment, I thought this pit was bottomless. I am lucky that I was wrong. The first challenge was escaping the crushing corridor. I passed that challenge. The second challenge was to escape this pit. I almost ran out of the pit. I ran out of footing. I wonder what the third challenge will be. As these thoughts are going through your mind, the walls of the pit begin to widen. You are horrified to see that they're moving in on you, much like the tunnel did minutes before. You realize that there's no running from this challenge. Okay. You think to yourself, the closer the walls get to each other, the easier it will be to simply use the walls in order to climb up. I can place my arms and legs against the walls once they are close enough, and then use them as leverage to push myself upwards and keep myself in place. That is, until the walls get too close and eventually crush me. I'll have to climb up fast as soon as I get the opportunity. Earlier, I used up all my energy, but maybe on the other side, using up all your energy doesn't matter. This place doesn't have rules after all. Just as the walls are about to touch, you prepare for your climb. When the walls touch, you feel the vibration and you begin climbing. You find purchase and grip in the rock and easily climb up the narrowing walls. Okay. Woo. You race out of the pit, or at least I'm going to attempt to race out of the pit as quickly as possible. You get out of the pit a second before it crushes you. As soon as you escape, you see an endless tunnel ahead of you. There seems to be no challenge here. You simply walk through the pass. You you think to yourself, the crushing cavern must have been the last challenge. Would it be the crushing cavern? It was a pit. Maybe like the pinning pit or something like that. You cross, or at least you check off the road of trials on your checklist. Okay, next up is the meeting with the goddess. This is where the hero gains items given to him that will help him in the future. The meeting with the goddess, who is incarnate in every woman, is the final test of the talent of the hero to win the boon of love, which is life itself enjoyed as the encasement of eternity. And when the adventurer in this context is not a youth but a maid, she is, the one who, by her qualities, her beauty, or her yearning, is fit to become the consort of an immortal. Then the heavenly husband descends to her and conducts her to his bed, whether she will or not. And if she has shunned him, the scales fall from her eyes. If she has sought him, her desire finds its peace. Oh, that's really weird. That one's definitely weird. I'm glad I'm not a woman, because that sounds really creepy. That one. Okay, so I meet a goddess, and she's gonna offer me gifts or whatever. Some kind of mystical marriage thing. Really weird. Okay, cool. The next step is called meeting the goddess. Apparently, a goddess is going to show up and offer you gifts that will help you on your journey. The goddess also represents all women and has something to do with the boon of love. As you continue down the path, you look around for signs of a goddess. Do 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 do. You see nothing out of the ordinary on the other side. The path just continues on as it has been for quite some time now. Soon you come to a split in the road. Right there at the fork in the road is a beautiful goddess. Hey! I'm going to bow to the beautiful goddess and say, I am honored to meet you. You ask the goddess, what is your name? And what gifts do you have for me? Do 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 do. The goddess blushes and says, my name is Bianca, and I was sent here by the goddess of the overworld to help you on your quest. You have already passed all of the tests, so I will grant you 3 wishes as a boon. Yeah, 3 wishes. What? That gift's a little too good. What the fuck? So, hold on, how many steps are after meeting the goddess? Woman as a temptress, atonement with the father abyss, apotheosis, the ultimate boon, refusal of the return, the magic flight, rescue from without, crossing the return threshold, master of 2 worlds, freedom of 10? Bullshit. I've only done like 7 things. Is that true? Am I on part number 7? Yo, I am on part number 7. What the fuck? There are like 17 parts. Okay. Yeah, 3 wishes. I have 3 wishes and 10 more parts to go. Am I even halfway through? 7 times 2 is 14, so no. I'm not even halfway through the journey. Okay, I get 3 wishes. Um, I feel like this is where you like cheese it, right? You just wish for like the rock of Volcar, the stone of Volcar, right? That'd be wish number 1. Like I wish I just had the stone of Volcar, which just makes sense because that's like the whole reason I'm here. To have the stone of Volcar. Like, isn't that too good? Like that's way too good. It sounds like you would almost like end the story here. Like you'd wish for the stone of Volcar, you'd wish to go like back home to like finish your quest, and then you wish to live like happily ever after or something. Like I don't know. That's like it's too good. You, it's like you gotta make dumb wishes to make the story last longer. Like you in order to do like the whole hero's journey, your wish needs to be like just kind of like something that exists. Um, you wish. Hmm. I don't know. I guess I'm gonna say to the goddess, um, I will save my wishes for later. I imagine that I will likely need them as my quest continues. Thank you, Bianca. I appreciate your love and assistance. Do, 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 do. Bianca smiles and kisses you on the cheek. Then she whispers in your ear, use your 3rd wish to get me out of here. I do not belong in this place. As beautiful as she is, Bianca also seems very sad and desperate. Okay? I'm going to say to Bianca, I will. I guess I'll just say, I will. So it's really 2 wishes. Because the 3rd wish is just to free Bianca. I can do that. No problem. Your next step on the path is a long tunnel. As you enter, the walls begin to move inwards and you run for your life. Oh, it's just repeating. It's just repeating a thing that it said earlier. Retry. You don't have to do me like that, game. Bianca hugs you and then points down the right path of the fork in the road. She says, oh, she gives me 3 wishes and she tells me where to go? Yeah, I forgot I was at a fork in the road. I was just gonna probably say continue down the path as if there weren't like 2 options. The Ari came from down that way. It is where you should go next. Bianca then disappears before your eyes. Okay. I'm going to check off meet the goddess from my checklist. Cool. Let's see. The next step is called woman. Is it woman as a temptress? Woman as the temper. Woman as the temptress. Okay. So what is that? In this step, the hero faces those temptations, often of a physical or pleasurable nature, that may lead him to abandon or stray from his quest, which does not necessarily have to be represented by a woman. A woman is a metaphor for the physical or material temptations of life, since the hero knight was often tempted by lust from his spiritual journey. Okay, so The next step involves some form of temptation being placed in your path. Normally, some form of physical temptation or woman that is meant to distract you and stop you from completing your journey. Soon you come across a small village of mud and thatch. There are about 15 to 20 people living in the village, and they stare at you as you approach. The villagers look angry, as if you've done something to hurt them. Oh goodness, this is not like like sexy woman or whatever. Let's see. You say to the villagers, I mean you all no harm. I am on a hero's journey. The next step of my journey involves some kind of physical temptation or woman that is going to try and distract me from completing my mission. Is there a physical temptation or a woman here that is going to try to stop me? The villagers all stare at you in silence. Then a large villager, the largest one built like a wall, steps forward and says, We have no temptations here. There are no beautiful princesses, no sirens with magical voices, no witches with delicious cakes. He knows his tropes. Damn. My boy's like, I've read stories, nigga. I know what happens next. We don't have that. Okay. I'm going to thank the large villager for his help. You say, I guess I'll just pass through then. Does anyone know where I can find a temptress or some other form of physical temptation? The villagers all look at each other as if they are discussing it. Then the same villager steps forward and says, Okay, cool. There are rumors of a siren that lives on the edge of the next swamp. Though we have not seen this siren ourselves, we have heard her voice from afar, and it is said that she sings songs that enrapture men to their doom. Okay? I'm going to thank the villager and say, I guess I'll head toward the edge of the swamp. My goal is to hear her song and resist the temptation. The villager says, You will not find her on this path. head down the one that leads toward the swamp of shadows. They all start mumbling amongst themselves as you turn to leave. You walk down the path toward the swamp. Okay, cool. Let's see. Let's see. You continue down the path to the swamp of shadows, and you listen closely for the siren song. It's interesting that he said we don't have any sirens here. And I'm like, well, where can I find stuff like that? And he's like, oh, Swamp of Shadows. The sirens are actually over there. You're just going the wrong way. You've been following this path for hours now, and it's getting dark. You walk faster, worried that you might be attacked by something threatening in the dark. You've been walking at a fast pace for about an hour. You look up and see a strange sight up ahead. Excuse me. Okay, what did I see? Did I see, like, the siren temptress or whatever? Fine. Fine bitches this way. Fine bitches this way. There is in the middle of the path. Wait, hold up. There in the middle of the path is a woman, or what appears to be a woman. She is dressed in a flowing white robe, and she has long flowing auburn hair. She holds a strange metallic object in her hand that is shaped like a large ball. You ask the woman, "Are you the temptress that is meant to distract me from completing my quest? Or from completing my hero's journey?" The woman smiles and says, "I have heard what you've been saying as you've traveled down this path, and I would be a siren if that is what you believe." She holds up the strange metal object in her hand and releases a burst of light. The siren. What is that strange glowing object you have? The siren says, "This is the Polos Oval. It's a device that can create illusions. You will find it very useful on your journey. You'll feel a strange compulsion to take the device from her." Hold on. You say, "I think you're trying to tempt me to take the device from you. I can feel the sudden urge to snatch it away from your grasp. I, however, am a true hero, and I won't be tempted to snatch it away. Instead, I will simply ask you to hand it to me. This will allow me to resist the temptation of taking it, while still allowing me to have it." Yeah, it's like I'm not gonna run up and like punch you in the face for it, but if you'll just give it to me, though, that'd be pretty sweet. The siren says, "Oh, very well," and she hands you the object. As soon as you touch it, a strange thing happens. The device suddenly glows even brighter. A small group of three-eyed furry creatures appear around you. Okay. I'm going to ask the siren, why did you want to tempt me in the first place? do, 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 do. The siren turns and begins to walk away from you. She says, I didn't. I give you this device as a reward for resisting my temptation. Happy journey. Okay, cool. I'm going to check off. That was really easy. So I'm going to check off. What was it called? Woman as the Temptress. From my checklist. And the next step is called Atonement with the Father/Abyss. What is that? In this step, the hero must confront and be initiated by whatever holds the ultimate power in his life. In many myths and stories, this is the father or father figure who has life and death power. This is the center point of the journey. All the previous steps have been moving into this place. All that follow will move out from it. Although this step is most frequently symbolized by an encounter with a male entity, it does not have to be male, just someone or something with incredible power. Okay, interesting. This step involves meeting an entity with power over life and death itself. You must meet this entity and be initiated by it. You continue down the path in search of an all-powerful entity. So right now I have 3 wishes and a device that can create illusions. You look up and see a strange shimmering portal open up in front of you. As you begin to walk toward it, brilliant light begins to shine out from within the portal. You can't see what's on the other side, but you are compelled to enter nonetheless. Okay. I guess I'll cautiously travel through the portal and say, hello? Is this the portal to lead me to the all-powerful entity? If so, I am here to be initiated as a part of my hero's journey. As soon as you enter the portal, everything goes black. Somehow, you know that you've been transported to another place, but you have no idea where that might be. You feel a strange sensation all over your body. You say, hello? I am here to meet with the all-powerful entity. Does anyone know where I can find the all-powerful entity? A booming voice emanates from all directions. The voice says, you have no need to know where you are. All you need to know is that I am here, and I will be your mentors during your initiation into the order of the all-powerful entity. Okay? I'm going to bow. And, yeah, I'm going to bow and ask, what is your name, O great mentor? The voice says, I have gone by many names, but you may call me Golja, the Great One. Another voice emanates from the darkness. This one sounds like a whispering hiss. The voice says, okay, so I'm about to join the Order of the All-Powerful Entity. I like how it didn't want to just give the order like a name that wasn't just on the nose. The voice says, I am Campbell. Yo, I think it's supposed to be you. Sorry, I see two O's and I go, yo. You may call me Campbell, the Great One. May be great. Oh, wait, sorry. You may call me Campbell. The Great One may be great, but I am more powerful. Another voice calls out. This one sounds fiercely beautiful. The fuck does that mean? Fiercely beautiful. I'm interested in seeing how this one will be interpreted. Wait a minute. Why do you have the stressed syllable? I am Clave. You may call me Clave. I am the most beautifulest of all those who are beautiful, and I am powerful beyond compare. The last voice is rough, low, and garbled. Okay, let's see how that's gonna sound. Goodness, so the order is definitely a cast of characters for sure. I am Gruel. You may call me Gruel. The others are mere servants to me, for I am the most powerful. You feel a blast of freezing cold air, and then you black out. You awaken back on the sandy beach. What? What? No. Like, really? Like, actually back on the sandy beach? The fuck? Okay. Okay. So I'm going to say, Golja. I don't know if I have to actually, like, capitalize the letters the way you did before. I guess I'll just say Great One, because that's just really simple. Great One. What must I do to be initiated into the order of the all-powerful entity? Yeah, like I may have woken up back on the beach, but I'm just gonna assume that I'm still among the order. The voice says, you will meet many challenges. You must defeat my 3 servant acolytes in battle and prove your worth. Sentinel serves me as a warrior and will challenge you to a battle of might. Okay, cool. So I have to fight Synthel. I'm not gonna put all the S's in there. You guys are redundant with that shit. Okay. I'm going to ask Synthel, because I'm not gonna put all those all those S's in there. What are the rules of your challenge of might? The voice says, there are no rules. Only may the most powerful win. Sorry, what the fuck? Clave offers his challenge in the form... Oh, wait, hold up. This is probably the Great One talking. Clave offers his challenge in the form of a hunt. You must find and kill the most deadly creature on this island. The Quetzal turtle. Okay. That's cool. Also, he said his 3 acolytes. There are only 3 of them? There's Synthel, Clave, and Gruul. Yeah, there are only 3. Yeah, because the Great One doesn't have a challenge. Okay, awesome. You say. So I need to be the most powerful. I need to hunt and kill the Quetzal turtle. Well, it's like, so I need to be the most powerful. And I need to hunt and kill the Quetzal turtle. What is Gruul's challenge? Excuse me. The voice says, Gruul is too clever to state his challenge in words. You must battle him, and you will find out. You stand up from the sand and feel a strange force pulling you toward the ocean. Okay. Strange force pull. I'm going to say to the ocean, is this strange force the Quetzal turtle pulling me toward his hiding spot? The voice says, perhaps, or perhaps the all-powerful entity is pulling you toward him. I will pull you toward me. Something heavy hits you in the back of the head, and you are pulled under the waves. Okay. Shit. Let's see. You look around for any sign of the Quetzal turtle as you are pulled deeper into the ocean by the Great One. So this is so far probably the hardest challenge so far, like the craziest thing I've had to do. The ocean is dark blue and frothy. Waves crash on your head as you feel as if you're falling down a long slide in a carnival house. You're tumbling around in the water. Oh, as you're tumbling around in the water, you see a giant green head surrounded by tentacles. Okay, interesting. So I'm going to attempt to scare the Quetzal turtle to death by casting an illusion of an even larger monster using the, what is it called? It's the thing that was given to me by the woman as the Temptress. What is this thing? The Polus Oval. That I got from the siren. The tentacles grab your body. You feel the suction of a massive mouth trying to engulf you. You attempt to create an illusion, but you can't concentrate with all the water crashing down on your head. Oh, great. Okay, so, So the illusion cast didn't work. I have 2 wishes I could potentially use. But to be honest, I can't. How am I gonna? Yeah, technically, I don't know what the 3rd challenge is. Like, I could try and use one of my wishes now and wish to be, like, all powerful or something, right? But again, this is one of those, like, if your wish is too good, you just in the story kind of situations. Um, so I don't want to make a wish that's like too overpowered and kind of messes up the adventure. Here's what I'll do. This is like a really tense moment where at like the halfway point in the story, apparently, where I'm like going through like the initiation, and I just started these trials. Let's split this video into multiple videos because this is long as fuck. This is like already like a feature length film. I'm not trying to release like a Snyder cut, like 4 hour hero's journey. So I'm gonna end it here, but I will finish the rest of the hero's journey. Like I will do like all the steps or whatever, just not like in one shot. Thank you all for watching. If you guys like this video, make sure to smash that like button, favorite, comment, subscribe, and ding, 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 ring that notification bell to be notified when I do these videos. Let me know what you think about this in the comment section below and on our Discord. As you can tell, I normally don't do Hero's Journey adventures. They're quite weird. As you guys can see, a lot of weird stuff has happened so far. That's kind of just par for the course with this kind of thing. But anyways, thank you all once again for watching. This is your host, your friend, your boy, Jump Like the One Only, logging out. Feel free to join our Discord, subscribe if you like AA Dungeon 2 videos, and feel free to support the channel by donating to our Cash App, link in the description. Peace. Chicka pow. Stay tuned for part 2.